right. This is gonna be kind of a freestyle Friday. Gonna do something a little different. Just kind of do some react videos. I want to start with VLAD TV and Art of Dialogue. In particular, Art of Dialogue. If you haven't been following, well, Art of Dialogue is a YouTube channel that does interviews centered around hip hop, that sort of thing, and hip hop figures, particularly back in the 90s, some 80s, but 90s. And it also focuses on a lot around the whole Tupac, Biggie, Death Row, Bad Boy saga and all that, with all the different people and characters that surround that whole thing that happened in the 90s, between the battle of the words, the bullets, everything, the music, even up to deaths of two iconic figures in the hip hop community. But lately, there has, and it is kind of funny, but lately there's been some back and forth videos with Reggie Wright Jr., Reggie Wright Sr. Reggie Wright is a Compton police officer, was a Compton police officer, but he was also on the security team of Death Row, and I believe he had his own security company at the time and would employ people. A lot of them some were police officer. I'm not sure if the gang members, so to speak, were under his banner or they were separate and hired directly by and paid directly by Suge Knight, but they were all kind of in this realm together. So there's some discussion on the internet, and I don't want to get into the facts of the case. I just want to get into more or less the comedy and the intrigue of it. But Reggie Wright Jr. and Keefe D, they are all central figures in the murder of Tupac and Biggie. I don't want to get into the particulars of that. What I recommend you do is, and especially if you work from home, or like in my case, I work from home and I do a lot of oil painting and whatnot. So a lot of this stuff is background fodder for me to listen to, and it's very interesting. But if you really want to get into some history and all these different characters and all these different people, how they intermingle, intersect with each other in all these stories, and especially like if you like to dwell in the human psychology, human dynamics and all that, these are some intriguing videos. Watch all of Art of Dialogue, especially the interviews surrounding Tupac, Biggie, Death Row, Bad Boy, and watch VLAD TV as well. Jokingly people say VLAD is the police and whatnot, but he has some good interviews. I just started watching VLAD maybe like a year or two ago. He's been around way longer than that, so I kind of caught up and got into the central figures of this big mystery. You know what I'm saying? But lately on Art of Dialogue, there's been some back and forth with Reggie Jr. and Reggie Sr. and versus Keefe D. Keefe D is a member of the Crips. That's what he's a member of the Crips, right? I think the South Side Crips. Correct me if I'm wrong. Compton Crips. Very well known person. I actually have heard of Keefe D myself, and I'm always in Ohio. He's in a few rap videos from years ago, maybe not a few, maybe one or two. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a video with Usher. One of Usher's songs is a 6'4" Impala. I think that's Keefe's car. But so he's a well-known figure in Compton and in Los Angeles and in this whole saga, this whole culture, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But there's been back and forth, like there's been back and forth of some particulars, like did Reggie Sr. know Keefe? Did were they here at this time or here at that time? So it's now getting outside the topic of trying to navigate this mystery. But then now it's getting like it's getting messy. It's getting into personal stuff. Like, so I hate to say this, but it's kind of entertaining because it's almost like Art of Dialogue will release one video and something disrespectful would be said, then like a half hour later, just like a react video from the person, that who was being disrespected, then he'll say something disrespectful. Then that other person will react back. It's almost like it's like a whole back and forth thing. So it's kind of amusing, and the disrespect is getting into like drug use, women, this women thing. In Art of Dialogue, I enjoy your channel. I think it's great, but man, I would stay away from that, man. Got these two old dudes. These dudes are my age. Got these two old dudes going back and forth. They had the wife. I'm not gonna get it. I want you to see it first. They had the wife on there, and she kind of when something right in the middle of the video, something was kind of said or something she said. Kind of her eyes started kind of going, and you can kind of see the body language. Like, oh, I don't know here. And the comment section is even more cheesy. So check out Art of Dialogue. The back and forth is pretty entertaining. Watch VLAD, because VLAD can fill in the gaps, and like I say, VLAD goes deep into these questions and whatnot. A lot of people hate VLAD because they say he's a culture vulture and all that, but it's kind of entertaining. So that's all I got on that. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, that's it. So I got some other stuff. I think I'll make another video a little later. But yeah, check out those two. That's my react on that. It's pretty entertaining. It's a lot of mystery and intrigue surrounding Tupac and Biggie. These guys do some superior investigation. And if you watch all these videos, and you can kind of navigate between who's not being truthful and who is being truthful. And to be honest with you, when you read the comments, people are like, well, he's lying or he's lying. I think it's a combination that at some point in all of this, there are some untruths. I don't want to get into detail, but just because this person said an untruth here doesn't mean it's an untruth here, that they say something later. And some of the untruths too, some of this stuff happened, years ago, 25, 30 years ago, you know what I'm saying? When you start getting a little older like myself and whatnot, your timelines in your head get kind of misconstrued. You might think a certain thing happened here, but it actually happened over there. But you're not doing it on purpose. It's just like for some reason your brain is registering this event differently than it really happened because its time has passed and you had a lot of life events in between time. So a lot of times people aren't purposely saying something that's an untruth. Like I saw a video the other day where a guy was describing an incident where he said Freaknik, but it wasn't Freaknik, it was Jack the Rapper. He didn't mean Freak, he meant Jack the Rapper because the incident he described, another friend of mine was there and told me about the incident. The incident happened in '94. I remember, it was a huge incident, and a buddy of mine witnessed the whole thing. So I know this incident happened at Jack the Rapper, and people in the comment section said the same thing. But he said Freaknik, but he probably didn't do it on purpose. He wasn't lying. He just, in his head, the events got mixed up, and it's not like this person is from geographically from this part of the country where we know these events, because you know what I'm saying. So that's it. I'll get at you later. I got another video I want to drop. I'm about to finish my work. If you're not watching this show, Big Sky, you should watch this. It's pretty good. It comes on Hulu, but I think it's on ABC as well. It's a very frustrating show to watch because just when you think they're going to catch this dude, they don't catch the dude. The show is good. Oh, and another thing, I watched the Many Saints of Newark. I was looking to see if I did a painting. Hold on, let me show you my painting real quick. I watched the Many Saints of Newark, and I did this. Hold on. Still wet. It's oil paint. I did this. It's a little off, but you know, it's okay. It's abstract. It's alright, cool. You know, but I'm trying to show my junk. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna talk a little TV a little later. But yeah, thanks for watching.